Hello. Welcome to Sassy and Belle. I almost forgot what that's oh my gosh. Happy Sunday. Happy All Souls Day. And I hope y'all are enjoying this wonderful fall weather we're having today. I tell you, I went to Costco earlier. I had a few things I was going to get, but then my anxiety was like, we're not going to. Yeah. For those of you who have anxiety, you know what I'm talking about. You go into Costco. Not a good idea. But in my defense, I have never been to Costco. My roommate was going. So I thought, you know what? Let's give it. I want to go. But if you're new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe. Y'all, Halloween is over with. I know. I'm excited for it. I'm sad that Halloween's over with, but at the same time, I'm like, it's November now and time's done changed. And speaking of this time change, I am sick and tired of this time changed. I truly, truly hate this time change. But I did promise y'all a part two to the Halloween special, and guess what? We're gonna do it. But if you ask me what I was, if you go to my TikTok, at Breezy Breeze 81, um, you can find my outfit. It's also on my Instagram and Facebook as well. Those are private. You're not getting that, but the TikTok you can follow. But if you, but like, but I was a 50s sob pop girl. I think that's what they were called. And I had to say, I was so cute. My hair was driving me crazy. Trust me on that one. Like, it could not stay in place, no matter how bad I wanted it to. So I was at work trying to make it stay in place. Mm. But also, did y'all? I gotta say, elephant in the room real quick. Hugh Freeze is no longer at Auburn. It is about damn time. He should have been fired a long time ago. But that Kentucky game was just proof that he needed to be gone. I will also say this. The boosters run the coaching staff at Auburn. You can't convince me otherwise. The boosters run that coaching staff at Auburn. And I know, y'all are gonna try to say, "Oh, you're just saying that," but but the downhearted Auburn fans will agree with me. The diehards, I know they agree with me on that one. Also, y'all like to sleep in my hair? Thank you. But yeah, the boosters have a strong influence, and they need to back the hell off. They really do. If Auburn can coach the way I know they can coach, they could actually win. Yes, I know I'm in love with the potential that Auburn could be great. Maybe that's why I don't have a boyfriend. Could be just I'm just not the type of girl that guys date. Oh well, there's a guy out there for me. He'll come around one of these days. Okay, so but with that being said, y'all is starting to get cold out there. Let's start to dress warm. Um, let's not dress like these little. I'm not shaming anybody. You dress how you want to, but when you get pneumonia for dressing in hardly any clothing, that's on you. I don't feel bad for you on that one because that's your own fault. You knew it was cold outside and you chose to dress up like that anyway. So, guess what? Sorry, sweetheart. I don't have empathy for you on that one. With that being said, let's get to our Halloween part two, shall we? I know this is a little late, but trick or treating do's and don'ts. Let's start with our do's. Stay with a group and an adult. It's so easy for kids to get kidnapped, especially on Halloween. Be visible. Make sure you have like some sort of light. Stick to lit areas. Now listen, I know it can be tempting to go to that old haunted house that no one likes to go to, but let's stick to lit areas. Use our sidewalks. We have sidewalks for a reason. Unfortunately, people don't know how to use them apparently. Be polite. You also want to say trick or treat when you arrive and say thank you. Check your candy. Surprisingly, I don't want to be a grandma, but you'll be surprised. There has been some crazy candies. Death, actually. Bring a flashlight. Use makeup instead of mask. Although I do think the mask are more fun, I will say that. Now, what are our don'ts of trick or treating? Don't enter homes or cars. Um, Also, don't run. Walk to avoid trips and falls. Um, don't go through shortcuts. Avoid alleys, yards, and other between house shortcuts between houses. Also, don't eat candy on the street. Don't approach strange animals. That's gonna be hard because one, I'm an animal lover through and through. Oh my goodness. Um, don't use house. Don't use a house when it's with its lights off. Now let's talk about some costumes, shall we? Be creative, have fun. Um, consider comfort in the weather, okay? Consider a group or partner costume. I do love those. Hopefully I can get someone to dress up with me one time. Because I really want to do Hocus Pocus one year, even though I'm over the witch thing. Um, don't wear anything overly revealing, offensive, or stereotypical. Don't dress up as a real person, especially a killer. I do have to object to that one, honestly. Don't spend a lot of money on a costume. Honestly, here's the thing. If you're like me, that costume's gonna get worn what once, and then it's just gonna sit there until you finally decide to get rid of it, throw it out. Just donate it, honestly. Now, if you were working on Halloween like I was, keep it simple, keep it comfortable, be respectful of your colleagues. Um, consider a costume that doesn't have political or religious undertones, because unfortunately, we live in a society today where everybody's finding something political, something to get offended by, and that's terrible right there. If you can get offended so easily, grow the hell up. Is all I'm saying. Um, don't wear revealing or distracting clothing. Don't bring fake or replica weapons to the office, and don't choose a costume that could be offensive, stereotypical, or culturally appropriate. Tip. Now, I also want to say this real quick. There are some things to get offended by, and there are some things that you can say the sky is blue, and somebody's gonna be offended. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, and I may lose the few followers I do have, but it's true. You can say it's the sky is blue outside, and somebody's gonna get offended that you said that. I'm not joking. People are so offended by little things these days. And it's sad that we live in a woke society. Here's the thing. I respect whatever you choose to believe. But don't go trying to look, I'm gonna respect you. But when you start to get too overdramatic about it, you've gone too far. Um and I say that because we lived in cancel culture, and you can cancel over anything. And I think people still think we live in cancel culture, and we really don't have cancel culture anymore. That's a good thing, honestly. And I still say Dukes of Hazzard should not have been canceled because that was a part of history, the Confederate flag. If you don't believe me and that offends you, goodbye. I'm not gonna try to stop you. Now, with that being said, let's talk about some urban legends on Halloween. There is a scary woman dressed in white, and this is one of those creepy ones as well. There's also the spider wig, and you can this is like a costume for a Halloween party, but a young woman was headed to look to the attic of a trunk of old clothes in a 1920 French dress caught her eye, and she knew she had to wear it. Holding it up, she danced around the attic, stopping in front of a tall door, and she dressed. The dress was perfect. Now she gazed in the mirror and frowned at her hairstyle, and it was all wrong, but she needed a bobbed hairdo from the 1920s, and suddenly she recalled a wig. And a wig she seen in the bottom of the trunk. Retrieving the trunk, and the doorbell rang. Clutching the wig and dress, she ran downstairs to open the door. And her friend goes, "We're going to be late." Freaking out. And she's like, "I'll steam the wrinkles out if you get your hair done." Now, once the dress was on, the woman was thrilled with her costume, and they left for the party. giggling how she looked like a 1920s gangster mole. Now, by the time they arrived to the party, um, the woman was scratching at the wig. Having never worn a wig before, it felt itchy and crawly. Ugh, I'm getting itchy and crawly just thinking about that. Now, they only they've only been in a party for 5 minutes with crawling sensation. The wig was so itchy that she could not stand it, and she told her friend. So, the woman shrieked that the spiders covered her head. The partygoers screamed and ran, and it seemed like a spider had spun a nest in the wig. Makes you think about that makes you have second thoughts about when you want to wear a wig. Okay, well, serious about why a wig so damn itchy? Why? Can someone please explain that to me why they're so itchy? Um, excuse my language, by the way. Now, next one, Halloween tattoos. And this one was an interesting one. And this was when two girls who were cousins, they went trick or treating together every year. Um, in one year, when they returned home, the girls were thrilled to discover they each received a unicorn temporary tattoo. And they showed the tattoos to their moms, who thought it was clever idea to go trick or treat to give a trick or treaters. Now the girls quickly applied the tattoos to their arms, and within a few minutes, the moms noticed they were acting strange. It was almost as if they were drunk or drugged. A little PSA. Now, the moms scooped up their daughters, rushed them to the emergency room, and when the doctors believed that the girls had been drugged, the police confiscated their candy, but the lab results showed no drugs. Now, the police come. Now, the police. Now, the next day, after the little girls had recovered, the moms were picking up the girl's costume, and they noticed that they used tattoo packaging. She grabbed a plastic bag and took it to the police station, and the lab report revealed that it was laced with a hallucinogenic drug. Little PSA, guys. Now, there's another haunted one. I love these, by the way. And these are Halloween haunted house attractions. And this is a tour of a 5-story haunted house attraction that no one has ever been able to complete because it is so frightening. Now, I'm probably cringe for that, by the way, but who cares, right? Now, each level is scarier than the last, testing the mettle of those brave enough to venture onto the new story. And visitors of the haunted house attraction was enticed by the reputation, a strong motivation to have a large cash reward for anybody who manages to complete the tour. It is also rumored that few people have completed the tour, but they mysteriously disappeared before they could collect the cash reward. Now, no one knows where the haunted house is, but it will be held from year to year. But it always sets up in a 5-story house. It is a terrifying experience you could ever have. Who's coming with me? I know I didn't care if I disappeared. I'm kidding. People would care. Then there's the most famous one, Bloody Mary Bloody Arm. Now this one can be a bit gruesome, so for those of you who don't really care about this, you might want to skip past this part. Now, Bloody Mary was known for killing young women bathing in blood as a way to maintain her youth. A gruesome story as a favorite tale at sleepovers. On such an occasion for Halloween, the young girls decided if they could conjure the crazed killer from the spirit world. They lit the candle and turned off all the lights, hiding the candle in front of them. And they would go, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. That's how the tradition goes. Now, this time a shadow appeared before them, but before they could turn around, a frightening woman flashed in the mirror and the girl screamed in terror. One was screaming, I feel her hands on my shoulder. Eventually, they got to open the door, and the girl who felt a hand touch left 3 bloody claw marks down her arm. Also, razor blade candy, that's a good urban legend as well. I do recommend that one. Then there's the hook. So, if you want to check that one out. as well. Now, urban legends are fun, I think, honestly, and I don't think that a lot of people realize that now. So, now let's talk about this. You're a guy who doesn't like Halloween, but you're dating a girl who loves spooky season. Here are some fun date ideas: haunted house adventure, corn maze adventure, ghost tour, Halloween crafts, Halloween themed meal, host a costume party, carve pumpkins, haunted movie marathon, make caramel apples. The nightmares are returning from that fundraiser. Anybody who went to Wallace when I did, y'all know what I'm talking about. Bonfire, Halloween cocktails, fall festivals. So many fun things you can do for Halloween. Things to remember when dating a spooky season lover. It's more than just a holiday for us. We expect this is a full season commitment. Honestly, this is a full year commitment for us. We love the thrill. Creativity is our cornerstone, and theme days is a must. Um, and our interest can be from a window into our personality. Be a good sport, and it also brings everyone together, honestly. Now, let's talk about da, 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 what y'all know I'm dying to talk about football. Now, this was a very interesting week in college football. I do think Auburn should have won that game, but we have a terrible coach who is no longer at Auburn as of today. And guess what? I have no pity for him. I didn't like him to begin with, especially after I heard about him from Liberty, and I don't like him now. I was with him on that Georgia game because that was a bad call from the refs, but he should have recovered from that. Now, let's talk about our Week 11 playoff predictions. Well, are you on Week 11 or Week 10? Anyway, here's my weekly predictions for the playoffs. We have number 12 Virginia and number 5 Georgia. I'm going with Georgia on this one. I do think that a lot of smaller schools though will be in the playoffs. Will they make it to the championship? No. I do think that. Now, Texas Tech and BYU. Again, one of the smaller schools. Um, one of those smaller schools that just won't make it past the playoffs. And for this one, I'm going with BYU. Now, Oklahoma and Oregon. I'm going Oregon on this one. I just don't think Oklahoma's making it past the playoffs. Honestly, they're having a good season. Great. It's their Cinderella season. Let them have it. But they're not making it past the playoffs. Then we have number 10 Notre Dame, number 7 Ole Miss. Tough one, but I'm going Ole Miss on this one. It might be the SEC bias, and also because I just don't like Ole Miss to begin with. But I don't know. I'm going Ole Miss on this one. And when was the last time Ole Miss has been in the top 10 and being part of carrying the SEC? Okay, let's move on to the quarterfinals. Um, the semifinals. My bad. Um, we have Georgia and Alabama. Georgia. That's going to be a rematch. I said it before and I'll say it again. You cannot put two teams up against each other in the same season and expect the same outcome every single time. BYU and Ohio State. Begrudgingly, I'm fighting about to vomit when I say this, Ohio State. I hate Ohio State with a passion. And I have to unfortunately say Ohio State for this one. I just don't see BYU making it past the playoffs. Then there's Oregon and A&M. I'm going Oregon on this one. Texas A&M has been really good, but they also have Batter Aggie syndrome. Go check that podcast. Go watch the SEC Shorts if y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Then Ole Miss and Indiana. As much as I would like for the SEC to be dominating the playoffs, I'm gonna go Indiana on this one. Now, quarterfinals. Now let's talk about the finals. Georgia and Ohio State. Georgia, obviously. And then Ohio State. And then Oregon or Indiana. I'm going Oregon on this one. Mainly because I really also want to see that duck. That cracks me up every single time. But now it comes to Georgia and Oregon. Tough one, but I'm going Georgia. I'm going to use my SEC bias on this one. Now, let's talk about a little bit of November. My brother's birthday was yesterday, so y'all wish him a happy birthday. Now, what are some fun holidays? I thought it'd be fun to do a little research in November, kicking off this episode, shall we? We have All Saints Day, November 1st, All Souls Day, November 2nd, Culture Day in Japan on November 3rd, King Tut Day, and on November 4th, Guy Fawkes Day, November 5th. What's some fun ones okay, and of course we have November 11th, Veterans Day. That's an important one to remember. And for those of you who love sandwiches, November 13th, Sandwich Day. November 15th, I Love to Write Day. World Peace Day, November 17th. National Apple Cider Day, November 17th. November 18th, I mean. Thanksgiving is November 28th. Now, let's talk about the awareness month for November. All month is National Native American Heritage Month, National American Indian and Alaska Heritage Month. There's World Kindness Day on the 13th. There's International Students Day on the 17th. What are some traditions in November that I'm looking forward to the most? The Iron Bowl. I'm from Alabama, y'all. So, the Iron Bowl is a tradition that everyone from Alabama knows by heart. But here's something. If there is a fever moon in November, there's the birthstone of November is the topaz, and I'm not even gonna pronounce the flower, the birth flower for this time because I know I'm not going to. Um, who's some famous birthdays that we have? My nephew, my friend Emily and Charlie, my friend Charles, well, my friend Charlie, Leonardo DiCaprio, Demi Moore, Emma Stone, Anthony Kiedis, Lord, Charles Manson, David Swimmer, and Travis Barker, and Ryan Gosling. Alright, that's it for this episode. I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day and enjoy this wonderful weather we've been having.